Today we will explain the importance of more buses and more bus routes. Because of the traffic and lack of parking spots, we will briefly go over these current issues and ways they could be solved.
Due to limited amounts of off-campus bus routes running to apartment complexes, there is a never-ending sight of brake lights going to and from campus. Therefore, students are having to drive to campus. U.S. News reports that 78% of students live off-campus, with only 30,000 off-campus students riding the bus daily, according to Texas A&M Transportation Services. In turn, these limited bus routes to off-campus residents forces students to drive to campus. This traffic is continuously making students late and making it hard to walk to class on time. Consequently, many are having to take the bus to no avail of getting to class on time because of the limited amount of bus routes.
At Texas A&M, parking is very limited. Sometimes even when you're trying to show up to class early, all parking spots are taken. A lot of the times the parking is simply way too far from the classes you are taking. I think what is the leading issue to this is not enough timed parking spots around campus. More timed parking would make it easier for students to get to classes. At the end of the day, Texas A&M has 70,000 students who go to school, and there's only 37,000 parking spots. This is not enough parking.
With our current number of buses and other transportation options, there are a few issues. First, the four most popular bus routes have an average daily ridership of around 5,000 students each, so they are often running at maximum capacity and don't have room for more students. While bikes are a popular option, they are not accessible for everyone, and theft is a common issue. Walking may be a good option for on-campus students, but walking from off-campus apartments can be time-consuming, exhausting, and dangerous.
By adding more buses, bus routes, and bus stops on campus will help eliminate traffic by giving students the opportunity to catch a bus near where they live or the class that they are going to. By having bus routes and stops that are further away off campus gives these students the option to take the bus instead of driving their cars to campus. By encouraging students to take the bus and making the bus more accessible, and having more buses will eliminate as many cars opening parking spots and will eliminate cars getting so backed up behind stopped buses. An issue that arises when adding more buses, bus routes, and stops is funding. Looking at the 2022 parking budget for A&M, they have several gaps in their budget and buffer areas where they could easily take money from in order to fund the more buses.
I will be discussing some solutions not having enough parking spaces here at Texas A&M University. There are a few options for this solution, and the first one would be to find extra areas around campus and turn them into extra parking lots. By doing this, we are able to fill in empty extra spaces around campus along with supplying extra parking for students so that they aren't struggling to find a place to park. Another solution would be to travel another type of way, meaning if you don't have to drive, try and ride a bike, scooter, or even walk around campus. This is important because if there's no need for you to really drive, you're able to leave spots open for people who need them more.
The solution to not enough alternative driving options can be very simple. The university needs to add more bus routes so that students are able to get closer to their desired destination. Also, the university needs to take into account for how far some people live away from the campus, so they need to branch out with how far they are willing to travel and pick up students.
In conclusion, Texas A&M hasn't considered how many students are enrolled here. Considering the traffic and the lack of parking spaces, more parking spaces are one of the options we have offered. As is giving up your car and getting a bike. We hope that we have answered the given will be taken into consideration so that we may eventually find a solution to this issue.